Okay, I just wanted to make that.
I think we're live right now. Yeah, we're live. Yo, I guess we'll give people a few seconds to join. In case you're wondering why, so, yo, Sauce, why are you going live instead of your normal uploading videos? It's because Prop Beaver played hooky today. He went with I ripped a tire instead of the good old, like, I'm sick or whatever the normal excuses are. I'm not even sure if we're actually live right now. It says we're... Oh,
You're
yeah,
live.
okay. Cool. We are live. Here comes comments. All right, so yeah, we're doing a live instead of the normal videos thing because people can't stick to their obligations. Can you guys hear me? Are you both with me?
Yeah, I
Yep,
can hear
we can
you.
hear you.
I would like to dispute the case that I dare skip work. My tire looks like it was shot with a bullet, the same one that killed fucking Frankenstein. So I don't know what happened there.
Did a bullet... Wait, hold on. Did a bullet kill Frankenstein? I'm not sure if that's accurate.
I'm sure they unloaded a clip into him.
Hold on. Let me pull up some comments. All right, so... Toast, I already got the graphic up for Mets at Marlins, Sandy Alcantara. So why don't you just go ahead and get us started and with that game?
Yeah. Obviously, everybody knows how much I love Sandy Alcantara. I have obviously been on his case for the last 2 years plus now. And this year, he's probably the leading Cy Young candidate now that Joe Musgrove got touched up last night. I don't like the spot for Sandy today. There's nothing. I'm not going to be able to sit here and talk about the numbers, this, about that. There's not. Sandy has been absolutely fantastic. The issue with me is the Mets just seen him, so they should be well aware of what Sandy has to offer. And also, Taijuan Walker. I mean, has he really turned a corner? I mean, if you look at his last two starts against Miami and against the Angels, 12 innings, 19 strikeouts, 2 walks, 2 runs. Taijuan Walker's pitching very well right now. It seems like the world is playing the fish today. I'm going to take the Mets at a small, like a half-unit play on the money line. It's too big of a price for the Mets. They're playing too well. They just saw Sandy his last start. Again, it's just a price thing. I think this is going to be like a 2-3 game, 3-2, anything like that, something close. So I'm going to take the plus money with the Mets here.
All right, Prop Beaver, you want to go next?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it pains me to say, but I'm on the opposite side here. I just think that Sandy Alcantara, I don't care if he faced him 3 times in a row. This guy is one of the most dominant pitchers in the league right now. And the Mets bats are slumping. They're just not hitting right-handed pitching as well as they were in the beginning of the season. If we look at their ranks in the month of June, we're talking 20th OBP, 18th OPS and WOBA. And they don't draw a lot of walks, which would probably, in my opinion, be Sandy's biggest weakness at times. He can walk a few guys, but in terms of gathering hits, it's just so hard against that guy. And then if you look at Taijuan Walker in his previous starts against that Marlins squad, he didn't have the best numbers. Now, I do like Taijuan Walker, but if there's a spot where he's a bit more vulnerable in terms of his career, it's going to be on the road. So, honestly, I know the price is a bit steep, but I like the Marlins there in that spot, especially at home.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't one of my favorite plays. This probably wouldn't even make the top 5, but I have to agree with the Prop Beaver reluctantly because I am a Mets fan. But I agree, the Mets lineup isn't hitting like it was. And also, I don't like how the Marlins just saw Taijuan Walker, like, what was that, like a week ago? I don't like how they just saw him. So that scares me a little. So my favorite bet from that game would be the Marlins first 5 on the run line. It's at -105. Again, not a huge bet. So let's move on to the next game, which I have as Astros at Yankees. Justin Verlander pitching against Severino. Toast, go ahead.
Well, we all know what was happening last night. I had the Astros on the money line, and I had the Astros team total over 3.5. 3.5 cashed easy, and the Astros blow it in the bottom of the ninth. I don't give a shit. I'm sure you guys aren't going to believe me. I'm taking the Astros again. I'm going to take them in the first 5 on the money line, and I'm also going to take their team total over 3.5. There's nothing that you can say to convince me otherwise. Look, Severino has been really good. 2 of his last 4 starts at home, he's been fantastic. Those 2 other starts on the road, he hasn't looked very good at all. Another thing that's concerning with me is Severino, 4 walks his last time out. I don't really like that at all. I'm getting Justin Verlander with his team coming off of a 9th inning walk-off with a 3-run lead after a bad performance against the White Sox. I don't see the Astros having any problem scoring like they did last night. Again, I'm not saying that the Astros are going to kill him or whatever, but in the first 5, I'm taking the Astros. So I know that Beaver disagrees with me. You probably disagree with me as well. But, yeah, there's nothing that you guys can do to change my mind.
Beaver disagrees with
not that you're like trying to. I'm just saying that I really like the Astros today again.
I mean, Prop Beaver it disagrees with a lot of things, but I'm with you on the Astros. But like I agree in the sense that I don't think this is the most valuable bet on the board. I'm taking the Astros at plus 114. Severino really hasn't been good in 5 starts. The Yankees are 2-3 in his last 5 starts. He's been okay. He hasn't been terrible, but he hasn't been an ace. So I'll take the Astros on a bounce back, chip on their shoulder type bet. Again, not one of my favorites. Prop Beaver, tell us why we're wrong. We're not wrong, but tell us why you think we're wrong.
Personally, yes, Severino has looked a little shaky, but the man at home is a different beast. Against his Astros lineup, he doesn't have, I wouldn't say the best numbers, but I know it was probably 4 or 5 years ago, 2018, but the man dominated Houston. And yes, while some of the lineup has turned over, the key guys that were there in 2018 are still the heart of that lineup today. His numbers at home are crazy. And at home versus right-handed batters, 557 OPS, 255 WOBA. And honestly, listen, I'm indifferent about this game. I'm not placing a bet on this game. I'm riding with whatever Toast says, but personally, if I had to lean one way, I'm going with the Yankees. This team simply seems like they can't lose. And as much as I hate them, and I would love them to crash and burn, they just refuse to do it. Yesterday was a prime example of that, where they had no business winning that game, but yet somehow, who comes out with the victory? The scumbag Yankees. So I would have to bet Yankees if I had a gun to my head. If I had Frankenstein's gun to my head, I'd bet the Yankees.
Really quickly, too, Severino has good numbers at home, but he's also facing teams like the Cubs and the Tigers. So those numbers are going to look a lot better than they probably should be. The Astros are not the Cubs or the Tigers.
2 of the best offenses in baseball.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The Tigers are a bunch of pistols. I'll give you that. They are gunners over there, even though Javi Baez has sucked. Astros is the consensus bet there. We don't take Prop Beaver's opinion too seriously around here.
And and of course, we all know, everybody in the comments, we all know you're betting the Yankees. There's no shock there, guys.
We get it. 90% of the public's on the Yankees.
Christ.
Noted. All right, next game is Pirates at Tampa Bay Rays. Let's see. Did any comments? What comment? There you go. Jimmy Jam with a comment. Toast, start us off.
I really don't have much in this game. I'm pairing the Rays with the Royals in a parlay, in a money line parlay. The Pirates on the road with spring. I think that the Rays, after winning a couple of games, are playing very good baseball against the Yankees. Probably should be feeling themselves at home right now, and the Pirates on the road. After, playing the Cubs, it's just a big step. The Rays are fast for me.
Go ahead, bro. Don't be shy. Speak up.
You talking to me? I can barely see the screen right now. It's frozen on my end.
Oh, Pirates Rays, bro. Speak.
Dude, honestly, bro, Mitch Keller, buddy's kind of dealing lately. If you look at his last 4 starts versus the Dodgers, the stinky Tigers, the Cardinals, and the Giants, he's 1-0, but he has a 2.42 ERA, 1.3 WHIP. He's actually been pitching quite well. My main problem here is that he's going to be on the road, but he also has better numbers versus lefties. 6/9 of that Rays lineup are going to be lefties. And Tampa Bay, yes, while they can hit lefties, my Christ, can they not hit righties? 27th OPS, WOBA, and WRC plus in the month of June. So it's going to be interesting. I don't know if I can fade Jeffrey Springs. That's my boy. That's my fella. But honestly, if I had to take a bet for this game, it's neither side. I'm taking Jeffrey Springs over 6.5 Ks plus 120. The Pirates against lefties lately have been a strikeout machine.
Yo, so I'm on the Pirates here, but I'm not going to fucking bet that money line at plus 180. That's crazy. I will take the plus 1.5, and I'm happy to do it at minus 125 or whatever the odds are at. I'm happy to do it because one, Mitch Keller is showing signs of improvement every single outing. Two, Jeffrey Springs is fraudulent. The man can get hit. He's one of those guys where sports fans just like to jump on everyone's meat. He had a few good starts, and yeah, he's still pitching all right, but he's doesn't have the X factor, and that will be revealed soon. Maybe tonight. But the real reason I'm comfortable taking the Pirates plus 1.5 is because the Rays lineup, although it is starting to show signs of life, overall they haven't been hitting recently, so I'm happy to take a 1.5 in my pocket. I'm on the Pirates, and I like this one a lot. Pirates run line plus 1.5. All right, next game. Next game is Boston at Cleveland. Nick Pivetta pitching against Cal Quantrill. Go ahead. Beaver, go first.
All right. For this game, I don't have the strongest feelings either way. I actually kind of like the over in this game a bit because Cal Quantrill, yes, he's been looking good lately. Yes, he's better at home. But he had 2 starts versus the Red Sox last year, kind of got touched up a bit. And 5/9 of the Red Sox lineup at the moment are left-handed batters. He's slightly worse versus left-handed batters. So I don't know exactly how I'm feeling with that one. Pivetta is a stud. He's really, really good. But the Cleveland lineup is batting pretty well right now. They're also very resilient. I feel like the longer they go into the game, the hotter the bats get. That's what I've been seeing recently. So I'm kind of on that game. I like the over.
Go ahead, Toast. Do you agree?
No, I agree. I like the Indians. I missed some of the stuff, the last end of the stuff he said, but I'm taking the Indians here, or the Guardians here. I felt stupid fading them against Joe Ryan. I knew that, and I went against my gut. They won that game. We took them the next day as a big dog. They won that game. We took the Twins yesterday, and somehow the Twins beat them 1-0. I think the Guardians, it was in the 7th or the 8th, had the bases loaded, no out. Still didn't get a run in. Cleveland is just playing really good baseball right now. I think it's 7 or 8 series they've won in a row. Beaver talked about Quantrill against the Red Sox. Yes, he got touched up in Boston, but when he faced Boston in Cleveland, he went 7 innings, only gave up a run. Pivetta has been good, but the walks are starting to creep up a little bit. 7 innings his last time out, 8 innings last time out before that. I'm taking Cleveland at home on a plus money. I'm kind of going against myself. I really don't like playing teams coming home off of a long road trip. And this is like a super long road trip going from from Colorado to LA to Minnesota and now back home. But Cleveland just playing way too well right now. I got to take them home at a plus price.
Yeah, I mean, this is the most simple description ever, but I agree with what Toast is saying. Cleveland Guardians 17-5 in their last 22 games, and we're getting them at home at plus 100. It's almost like just throw a period at the end of their sentence right there because I'm willing to roll the dice on that alone. So this isn't one of my top ones either, but I am going to probably throw a half unit on Cleveland money line. I'm not going to touch the first 5, Quantrill versus Pivetta, but as far as the full game goes, I'll put a half unit on Cleveland to win. Next game is the Los Angeles Dodgers at the Atlanta. I used the wrong Braves image. God, I suck. I used the JPEG instead of a PNG. All right, well, whatever. Dodgers at Braves. Urias versus Ian Anderson. Toast, go first.
Dodgers, and more Dodgers. It's pretty fucking simple for me here, guys. I'm getting Julio. First of all, anytime I get the Dodgers at this type of price looking at them, the run line's at plus 120. I say it over and over again. If you play the Dodgers, you play them minus 1.5. I don't know how many wins they have, 40 something this year. Only 3 of them have come by 2 runs or less. So when they win by 2. When they lose outright. You don't. That's how you play the Dodgers. You don't waste your money on anything else. Play them minus 1.5. I'm doing it again today. Urias has looked pretty damn good his last couple starts. 16 strikeouts to only 2 walks. He's finally starting to command that zone a lot better. And Urias is a guy that he's really hard to get hard contact off of. The Braves, I just don't trust the Braves. Congratulations. They've won the last 2 games in a row. I've picked against them. It took a 9th inning walk-off on Wednesday, and then last night they got to Wood early, and then they almost gave that game up, and they probably should have. I do not trust the Braves bullpen right now. Looks like garbage. Ian Anderson looked great against the Cubs, but, I mean, he's just not a guy that I really get behind or trust. Really bad strikeout to walk ratio. I mean, against the Nationals on the road, 4 walks, only 3 strikeouts. Comes back against the Cubs, goes 6 2/3. Doesn't give out any runs, but it's the Cubs. So it's just too cheap of a price on the Dodgers. Plus, I get Freddie coming back to Atlanta, all that good stuff. It's Dodgers or pass for me. I love the Dodgers today.
Go ahead, son. Don't be shy.
All right. So here in this spot, I definitely like. Can you hear me still, by the way? Okay. All right. So I definitely like the Dodgers here. I think that they're going to be scoring a lot of runs off Ian Anderson. That is a guy I have basically close to zero faith in. Not an Ian Anderson guy. Definitely not an Ian Anderson guy at home, whereas a 5.84 ERA. He's been looking very weak there. And if you look at the Dodgers, they're starting to heat up lately. Over the last 2 weeks, they ranked 3rd in OBP, 6th in OPS, and 7th in WOBA and WRC+. And Ian Anderson at home versus lefties has a 0 K to BB ratio. 0. Zilch. He walks a lot of guys at home, and he also walks a lot of lefties at home. Why I think that's key is that 5/9 of this Dodgers lineup are going to be lefties, and they are absolutely crushing him. He has a 998 OPS versus lefties at home. And listen, I think we're getting the Dodgers at a ridiculous price. I think people are overrating the Braves due to their stupid, silly, easy schedule. How are we fading the Dodgers here? I don't care how public it is. I'm not fading the Dodgers.
Yeah, I'm on the Dodgers too. And Omar Ramirez, just so you know, Prop Beaver is actually like three or 4 weeks off the weed. He's a quitting man, so he's innocent of that crime. But real quick, is this Freddie Freeman's first time playing at Atlanta since leaving?
Yes.
Okay. That's cool. I didn't know that. But regardless, Dodgers, this is my favorite play, and I run really sharp tonight. Not here, though. The Dodgers bats seem to be back, even though Mookie's still hurt. They're 2nd in OPS in the last week. In the last week, 2nd in OPS without Mookie. So the bats are hitting, and pitching advantage, everything. For some reason I deleted my notes on this game, but Dodgers is one of my favorites, so I'm on the Dodgers.
Yeah, Will Smith and Freddie Freeman hit parlay as well. Those two bats are hot. Love it.
Cool. All right, next game we have Washington at Texas. I'll go first on this one. What did I write? Let's see. Okay, so the bet I wrote down in this one is the Rangers' first 5 run line. And I can't believe I'm saying this, because if you rewind back to last year, Dane Dunning was such an auto fade and such a scrub, and him at home is turning into a really safe bet. I mean, I don't have his home his home record in front of me, but he is so much better at home than he is on the road, and he proves it every single time out. So him against Paulo Espino with a weak Nationals lineup, I feel really safe laying a half run at minus 115 with Texas here. Toast, go next.
Yeah, it was Texas for me as well. I actually was thinking about playing them -1.5. It's a bullpen day essentially for the Nationals. Texas is just one of those teams when they're hot, they're hot. And like you said, Dane Dunning at home has just been a play on for me. It's Texas. I'm probably going to parlay them with somebody else. I don't know, but it's Texas for me. I like them in the first five, like you said, and I like them -1.5. You at a big +130 price.
All right, so I'm assuming.
And I don't play home teams on the run line. How much I like it.
All right, I'm gonna go. Dane Dunning at home, yes, he's a beast. But my issue with this matchup for him is how bad he is against lefties. We're talking about an 824 OPS, 361 WOBA, and a 1.56 WHIP. And now the Washington Nationals, yes, they stink against righties. Only 24th in OPS, 23rd WOBA in the month of June, but they do draw a decent amount of walks. And personally, I don't know. Paolo Espino, he's kind of just a nobody, but at the same time, he's doing quite well versus lefties this year. 549 OPS is quite damn impressive. And also in his starts, it never is like he loses them the game. He might have a little bit of a, not the best outing, but he's never going to lose them the game. He's pretty much in the 2 to 3 runs allowed range. And while the Rangers bats are heating up, I think I may go sharp here and go Nationals.
Another bad pick from AJ, but something we've become accustomed to here on the show.
In the comments, Eric Gonzalez, I see you. If you're a Dodgers fan, bro, you know you don't lose by less than 2. So what's the deal?
How do you go national? Paulo Espino?
You're public, Pete. You're public, Pete.
Okay. Oh, I'm Public Pete. Wait till you get to my next pick. I'm about to mute AJ. He's not allowed to comment for the rest of the show. All right, next slide. Rockies at Twins. I could guess Public Pete, a.k.a. AJ's bet here. Bet you he likes the Twins. So let's go. Rockies at Twins. Toast, go first.
This is the pick that I found out that Beaver was in a bad mood today. We kind of argued about this one. Obviously, the Rockies are not the best team, especially on the road. There's no really numbers, but Dylan Bundy, I don't know. I just don't trust him. I was leaning Rockies first 5 here. I just don't think the Twins are playing good baseball at all. They've gotten, honestly, they're 4-6 in their last 10. Their one win yesterday was 1-0. It's just, they're really not scoring that many runs either. If you look at their past run production in the last 10 games, it's 1, 10, 5, another 1. There's an 11, and then a 2, a 5, a 0, a 3, a 0. So when they score, they score. When they don't, they don't. Obviously, Marquez hasn't pitched great this year, but lifetime on the road, he pitches much better. I don't know. I don't know if I can get to the window with the Rockies, but I know I'm not betting the Twins.
All right, next up, Public Pete. Who do you like?
Dude, I think the Rockies stink. Lately, they look, quite frankly, horrible to me. And this is the worst spot for them. That's against a right-handed pitcher on the road in the month of June. In the bottom 5 of all major offensive categories. They can barely draw a walk either. And let's just look at the last 5 starting right-handed pitchers versus the Rockies at their home stadium. 1.22 ERA and a 1.23 WHIP. Them Bulls cannot hit a right-handed pitcher on the road to save their life. And Dylan Bundy, I don't trust him as far as I can throw him. I think he's like 6 foot 250. I'm not even sure. I don't know the guy's sabermetrics. But here's my thing with Dylan Bundy. Has Dylan Bundy sucked on the road? Absolutely. He's been god-awful. But Dylan Bundy at home has been a stud this year. 2.29 ERA, 5.82 OPS, 252 WOBA. And this is my main point that I really like for him here. At home, versus right-handed batters, which is 7/9 of the Colorado Rockies lineup, by the way. 285 OPS, 132 WOBA. And it's 0 home runs allowed. 0. Zilch. Nada. So I'm taking Dylan Bundy under 2.5 earned runs at plus 115 for about, I don't know, 3/4 of a unit. Why not? I just think both of these teams, honestly, to your point, Toast, yes, has Minnesota slowed down a bit? For sure, but this is still the #1 team against right-handed pitchers at home. When they go on the road, they seem to lose a lot of their luster, so I think that they're going to bring it around. They're going to come back here. They got their stupid little win yesterday, but that was a moral victory. I'm expecting a dominant victory here today against Yerman Marquez, who, in my opinion, is dirty ass cheek.
Oh, you're finished so soon. So there's Public Pete with his minus 165 money line play there. Let me tell you one thing.
-0.5.
Are you done, Public Pete? I'd like to talk.
Nah.
All right, so let me tell you one thing. In the past week, the Colorado Rockies are first in the MLB in OPS. Yes, a lot of that damage is coming against left-handed pitching. Public Pete isn't wrong there. But the fact is, when you're playing numbers like that, eventually they're going to hit. And I know they screwed us 2 times in a row, but third time's a charm. You know that if you're a gambler. I'm riding with them here. Dylan Bundy is absolute shit. German Marquez is having a bad year. But if you remember, there was a stretch last year where he was cashing for us. Most of those cashes were at home, not on the road. I get it. But I'm going with the Rockies here. Happy to fade Public Pete. And, check this out real quick. Let's take a gander at Public Pete. Oh, wouldn't you know it? 98% of the money is on the Twins. 97.9% and Public Pete standing amongst his crew in the heavy Public side. Give me the Rockies here. Let's move on to the next one. Next game, Orioles at White Sox. Wait, I already know who Public Pete likes. Tell us, Pete.
All right, well, Michael Kopech's about to actually shut these fools down. So, I mean, as public as it is, that's simply what's going to happen here because the Baltimore Orioles have sucked against right-handed pitching pretty much all year, but especially in the month of June. The last 7 starting right-handed pitchers versus the Baltimore Orioles, I think one of them has allowed over 2 runs, and most of them have allowed under 1 run. So they simply cannot produce right now against right-handed pitching. Michael Kopech only faced the Orioles twice last year as a reliever. He had 6 plate appearances. All 6 of them were strikeouts. He's disgustingly good at home. We're talking about a guy with a 299 OPS. And yes, Baltimore lineup does have 4 lefties in them. But at home against lefties, the man's allowing a .067 actually, average. I just simply put, Baltimore's not going to be able to score on this dude. I don't give a damn if Michael Kopech is coming off a rough start against Houston, and then 2 starts before that, a rough start against Toronto. Those were both on the road where he tends to be a little bit weaker, and those are also 2 of the top, 4 teams in all major offensive categories versus right-handed pitching. Baltimore Orioles are not that, and if you're backing a bullpen day from the Orioles, I just don't know. I don't know.
Thanks, Public Pete. So next up, Toast. Tell him why. Actually, I haven't talked to Toast about this game, so I don't even know which way he's going. Are you on Baltimore?
No.
Why would you ever be on Baltimore here?
I'm about to explain to you why in just a moment.
So, I'll just keep it simple just because I know that Sauce has a different opinion and Beaver already went over it. So, it's just Kopech at home. We have 1.75 ERA at home coming off a bad performance. I just love a bounce back spot, not to mention the White Sox lost last night 4-0. I have a hard time believing after coming off of guys, I'm kind of situational in my handicapping and coming off of really 2 huge series with Houston and Toronto back-to-back. It was a down spot for the White Sox last night. I think they come back focused. I got the White Sox in the first 5, minus 0.5 and minus 120. It's one of my favorite plays today.
Okay, so I'm on Baltimore, and this isn't like the Rockies one. I picked the Rockies, but probably that's a stay-away game. I actually really like Baltimore. There's something in this world, guys, called momentum, and the Orioles pitching staff is hot. We're talking about back-to-back shutouts. This is one of the hottest bullpens in baseball right now. In their last 4 games, they've let up 4 total runs, and 3 of them came in one game, which was their only loss in that stretch. No one's scoring runs on the Orioles. Defense is playing well. Bullpen is red hot. And I'm riding it. The White Sox, I mean, they're not very good at hitting right-handed pitching. I'm on Baltimore, plus 139. There's a reason that 99% of the money's on the White Sox, and that line's only plus 139, because the books agree with me. Ride with me into the sunset and take this plus money, please.
All right, I think the first 5 is probably the best angle for the White Sox, but I can definitely see your angle in the full game because of just how putrid the White Sox bullpen is. I can see it. But when Michael Kopech pitches 8 innings and allows 3 hits, 0 runs, and strikes out 12 guys, it's just like, I don't know.
If you get 6 out of Kopech, you should be happy. He ain't going 8.
Or those Baltimore Bird bats might get him out in 4. Just saying.
And I'll even go to Sauce's point. Baltimore really scoring as well. Their last 10 games, 4-7-0, 2-6-1, 10-6-6-1. So they're definitely putting runs up. And if you even go back as far as with that pitching staff, they only gave up 1 to Tampa Bay, and then they gave up a 6, and then they gave up another 0. So, I mean, what is it? 1, 2, 3 out of their last, 6 games, they've thrown up a shutout. And then 2 of those games, one guy had 1 run, the other one had 3. So, yeah, there's a lot of things to like about Baltimore. They're playing really well right now. It's just a spot for me that I really like the White Sox. Only the first 5, though. I'm not playing the White Sox whole game.
So, in a way, all 3 of us get cash here. You both like the White Sox first 5.
Yeah.
I'm on the Orioles full.
I went with Kopech under 4.5 hits allowed as one of my plays for today.
Yeah, but we went over that. That shit is weird because if he pitches a good game, that could work against you.
No, I mean, he's pitched many good games this year and has gone under 10 of 12 starts. And also Baltimore has gone under in their past 6 of 9 games versus right-handed pitching and 9 of 13 games versus right-handed pitching. So
I mean, those numbers do sound good. Not going to lie. But I bet of all the people making that bet, 90% of them are on the under at 4.5 hits. And the Baltimore bats, bro. Don't sleep on the O's. Just don't sleep.
No, I think it's more likely that they get more runs than the hits in this scenario, truthfully, because if you look at Baltimore's offensive production, I feel like a lot of it relies on the long ball. I mean, they got guys like Santander, Hayes, Mancini, Mountcastle. A lot of those guys are just power hitters. They're not really, I don't know, BABIP guys, as one could say.
True. Okay.
Yeah, and people about talking about the Orioles in the chant, you're saying Mountcastle is a monster and Hayes. Yo, don't sleep on Anthony Santander, my friends. Go ahead, Sauce.
Okay. We're moving on to the next game. I don't even want to share my pick in this one. I want to let you guys do it because I'm almost ashamed of it. Who wants to go first? Let's go Prop Beaver first.
This is the Athletics versus Royals, I'm assuming.
My bad. I thought you could see the screen. It's Toronto at Milwaukee.
I didn't get to do much capping for this game, to be honest. Not the later stretch. I did a lot of the early games, but my main feelings are you got freaking Alek Manoah on the mound coming off one of his worst starts of the year. And yes, I'm going to piggyback on what the Toast was saying to me earlier today. I don't trust the Brewers. I trust the Toronto Blue Jays. Toronto's bullpen is, quite frankly, what worries me. But I don't know if the Brewers' bats are lively enough to make them pay for it. So I'm going to ride with the Blue Jays here.
Okay. All right. Even at that minus 144 price, though?
I feel like that's actually pretty cheap for the Blue Jays. With Alek Manoah, I mean, honestly, I get what you're saying. It's pretty suspect, but I still like him.
Yo, at Toast, as soon as we started this game, the comments started going crazy. There's a lot of attention on this game. Where's your money going on this game?
Alek Manoah, Tony Gonsolin, these are my guys, man. They don't lose. Alek Manoah is 17-4 the last 2 years. If you're going to give me him minus 145, it's automatic. I mean, honestly, and I'm getting him coming off his worst performance of the year against the goddamn Yankees. The 2 games before that, he didn't give up a run. I mean, I have a hard time not backing them today. The Brewers haven't played that great. They lost 2 in a row to St. Louis. They probably could have lost yesterday as well. They had the bats working yesterday. Hauser has just not been that great. He's coming off a performance against Cincinnati where he walked 4 guys. That's just not something I like. He hasn't 4 of his last 5 starts. He's given up 3 runs or more. I think the big bad Blue Jay bats eat tonight, and I have no problem paying that price at minus 144. No way, no
Let me add
problem.
one thing real quick here. Hauser, I will say, yes, he came off that bad start against the Reds, but for some strange reason, the Reds owned that dude. I bet on him both times early. I faded him both times earlier this season when he was playing the Reds, and he got absolutely demolished. Did it a 3rd time in his last start. But if you're talking splits, which I'm a split savant, I'm a sicko when it comes to the splits. At home, at night, is Adrian Hauser's best split by a mile. He's a night crawler. He loves playing at night, and he's also significantly better at home. So I can see where people are thinking in terms of backing Brewer and Hauser here. I can't do it. I can't do it.
Yo, you can see that Jimmy Jam knows what I'm about to do. This is the 3rd time he said, "Don't do it, Yoda." Yo, so I'm betting the Brewers here, and I'm not even gonna argue with either of you because you're probably on the right side. Just the number tells me to bet the Brewers, and I feel like a husband whose wife has beaten the shit out of him for 3 weeks, and I continue to go home. And I don't want to make a joke out of domestic violence. That's not
sounds
cool.
like you just did.
But I didn't mean it as a joke. The Brewers are abusing me, and I continue to go home. And I'm going home again tonight. I like the Brewers here. At plus 124 with Adrian Hauser, who's got an ERA under 3 at home. I'm taking it, and I hate it. It's not one of my favorites. All right, let's move on to the next game before I get myself into trouble. Next game is, all right, so Oakland with Cole Irvin, who everyone hates Oakland and everything they stand for. I like Cole Irvin. On the road at Kansas City with Zach Greinke pitching. Toast, lead us off.
I mean, there were so many other games on in the game. I don't know. I lean Royals just because they play well at home. But they're coming off a long road trip. Oakland is fucking awful. They lost yesterday. We got lucky. I don't know. I lean Royals, but Greinke's coming off of injury. There's way more better games to watch. I won't even watch this game. I'm sorry.
Wow, that's cold. That's cold. It's not a bad pitching matchup.
Is it your game of the night?
No, this isn't one of my favorite games either, but, 2 decent pitchers on the mound. AJ, what do you like?
I think the game goes under. That's my first takeaway. I think the game goes under. Zach Greinke has very good numbers against the Athletics lineup, and he's going to be at home. I understand he was getting rocked in 3 of his past 4 starts, but in 3 of his past 4 starts, those were on the road where he tends to be much worse. Now he's going to be at home versus a lineup that he's done very well against in the past. So I think he could have success. And then Cole Irvin, yes, the Royals are better versus lefties. But one of the best guys in the lineup versus a lefty, Salvador Perez, just got put on the injured list. So I don't know. I don't have much confidence in that offense scoring on him. And Cole Irvin could be described as the Royals' papa because he has a 248 OPS. 248 OBP, 523 OPS, and versus the current lineup. And if you look at 3 starts in his career, versus the Kansas City Royals, he has a 1.4 ERA, 0.93 WHIP, and he's won 2 of those games. So listen, honestly, I feel like if you're the Athletics, you have to be simply embarrassed about what happened yesterday. If you have any goal, if you have any self-respect, you're going to come out there and you're going to score at least 3 runs. And that could be good enough. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull a sicko move. I think I like the Athletics here. They're much better on the road batting. They are much better on the road batting. Also, they're kind of freaks at scoring in the first inning. So just something to look out for. I don't know what the price is going to be, but I always like to put like a little quarter unit on it because it's been doing pretty well for me.
Maybe like a first 5 team total.
I don't know if I'd go that far. I think they'll only score 1 run, maybe in that first frame. But that KC bullpen, as soon as they come in, it's over. They're going to allow just 2 runs, and that could be the difference.
Yeah, the only thing for me is that Greinke looked really, I mean, not really good, but pretty good. And then his last 2 starts, he didn't look good at all. But I think that had to do with his injury. So the only concern I really have is him coming back off an injury. But from what I'm reading, he should be all right. Again, I don't know. But yeah.
Actually, I have a cool, I don't know if you want to call it cool, but there's a same game parlay, just a little thing I like in this game, and I'm going to share it real quick. I just want to plug it in to give you the exact odds. So if you go with the Royals plus 1.5 or the money line and parlay that with the under, if you go plus 1.5, parlay it with the under, that's at plus 160. So you're getting the Royals, like even if you like Oakland to win, how many runs are they actually going to score to win? So you get the Royals plus 1.5 and under 9.5 at plus 160. I really like that. If I had to pick a side, I'd take the Royals, but I don't know if I feel like taking Kansas City at minus 135. That just seems silly. They have hit lefties pretty well recently, so I guess that matches up decent against Cole Irvin. But I feel like, including last year and this year, whenever I match up a team that hits lefties well against Cole Irvin, they end up not hitting him. So I feel like I don't even know if he's got like a nice 2-seamer or a sinker or one of those pitchers that throws performs against left-handed hitting. But I feel like the whole righty-lefty thing never really applies to Cole Irvin. But regardless, I like the Royals and the under.
I think there's like something on FanDuel, and what they do is they do like plus 1.5 for a team, and then the first 5 under. You could like do that. It's called like a combo. I'm gonna look into that right now because honestly, I think that could be the best bet. I don't think Greinke's allowing many runs. I don't think Irvin's gonna allow many runs. And then plus 1.5 in the first 5 when you're betting the under. I mean, it just seems smart to me. So I'm definitely gonna look into that. But let's go on to the next game.
Yeah, I like that too. That's what I'm saying. It just seems like that should be lower than plus 160. That's all. All right, next game, Cubs at Cardinals. And if you guys don't mind, I'm going to take the lead on this one. I'm going Cubs first 5 run line. And there's no question. I'm not going to sit here and tell you the Cubs bats have been hotter than St. Louis because they haven't. I'm not even going to say Kyle Hendricks has been better than that guy Palante who's pitching for St. Louis because he hasn't. But Palante, I just dropped him on my fantasy team. He's one of those guys where, like, we don't know what he is yet. He's thrown a couple good months worth of outings. I mean, like, maybe like 5 or 6 weeks. And all of a sudden, people want to rate him better. Like, there's no way he's better than Kyle Hendricks. So the fact that I'm getting Kyle Hendricks against this guy, and I can get a half run at minus 105, I think is a steal. All the money in the world is on the Cardinals, which makes me like it even more. I know neither of these guys are going to be with me on this, but that's the bet I like. Go ahead, Toast, take it away.
You got to unmute your mic, Toast.
Toast, we can't hear you. We can't hear you.
Sorry, my dog was barking.
Now we can.
I disagree. I don't like being public key, but Hendricks on the road this year just been absolutely terrible. 5.43 ERA. I'm sorry, 5.81 on the road. And Palante's actually pitched pretty well. I don't know why you dropped him. I don't see any bad performances. I guess I don't know what you're seeing there. I guess. So I parlayed the Cardinals and the White Sox in a money line parlay. So yeah, Cubs are just horrible right now. 6-15 this month, and 1-7 on the road. It's Cardinals for me or pass.
Okay, listen, Sharpie McSorensen, I'm going to be with you here. I like the Cubs in this game. I think that all the money's on the Cardinals, which already makes me like it a bit more. I know I'm public Pete, but I do like to go sharp most of the time. And Kyle Hendricks, let's look at the guy's last 5 starts versus the Cardinals. He's 4-0 with a 2.16 ERA. And I can't calculate his whip right now because we're doing a show, but I'm sure it's pretty low. So he's actually pitched quite well versus the Cardinals in his past. And I think the Cubs bats, they're due for a little wake-up call. I mean, are they bad? Yes, they're bad. But I don't know if they're that bad. And Andre Palante, he has been pretty impressive, but I got a weird feeling, that the Cubs could win this game here. And probably if I had to go with a bet, I think I'd go with the under, or maybe the first 5 under, because I think both starting pitchers could do quite well here.
I guess I don't. What are you guys seeing from Palante that you guys don't like? Just the fact that he was a reliever and now a starter?
I said he's fine. I didn't say anything bad about him.
All right.
The fact that he's gone 4 innings or more 3 times in his entire career.
Okay.
Also, the fact that he has no backbone.
He does have no backbone. I saw a medical report on him.
Well, he does have 21 appearances this year. 21 appearances this year with a 1.69 ERA. So he's doing something right.
But did you see Kyle Hendricks' X-rays? He's got
No, I didn't. He goes, he does have no backbone. I've seen a medical report. All right, next game. Oh, shit. Next game. Mariners.
That's good.
Mariners at Angels. Yo, this is the ugliest game on the board. I want to go last. Toast, you start.
Honestly, guys, this is a weird one. Obviously, the Mariners are going to be without Ty France, who's their best hitter, one of the best hitters in the American League at this point. So it's really hard to get past them. I actually think the first 5 over is probably the play, or an over. Lorenzen got shelled the last time that he faced Seattle with 7 runs. Flexen on the road this year has been hot garbage, just in general. I'm looking at a first 5 over. The only thing I caveat to that is we got to see some lineups. We got to make sure that Lord Trout Ohtani is in the lineup for sure.
Is there a chance that they're not in the lineup?
Yes. Always.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'm glad this is a later game then. Definitely not going to place that bet because I'm with you on the Angels. But for first, let's hear what Prop Beaver likes.
All right, I'm going to cap this like a 3rd grader because the last time these 2 teams played, I did the same exact thing. So I went to Chris Flexen, went to StatMuse, typed in Chris Flexen versus Angels. In 5 career starts with them, 2-0, 2.20 ERA, and hasn't been walking many guys. I like that. Then I go do the same thing Michael Lorenzen versus the Mariners. 2019, he gave up a run in a relief appearance. That's fine.
Who cares?
But then he played them in the previous start, and he just got shit bumped. And it seems like for some weird reason, no offense, Toast, I love you, but every time you don't like the Mariners, they win, and every time you do, they pull some bullshit and they screw you. So I'm just reading trends here. I'm going to go with the Mariners.
So you're saying Chris Flexen has been better against the Angels than Lorenzen has been against the Mariners, correct?
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
I wrote down that I think the Angels win, but I didn't put it in any sort of bet. I actually wrote on my notes, F this game. I think if you want to add the Angels money line into a parlay, maybe do it, but as far as picking, I don't know. I like how you guys disagree, though, because it'll make me put it on one of the TVs, because now I need to watch who's right. You guys both... Wait, did Toast, you just said the straight-up money line at minus 155 or 160? That's not really like you.
Oh, I'm not betting it. I'm just saying, like, if I had to pick a side, like, I'm not going to land with the Angels.
Oh, okay.
I'm not betting this game either. Don't put it on your TV. It's garbage.
Well, no, neither of you guys are betting.
Because I'll be watching the Mariners. I will say this to Beaver's point. again, this is like super like conjecture, but like if the Mariners don't have Ty France, maybe they win one for the Gipper. Maybe they have a little bit of extra energy. I don't know. I mean, you're really gasping at straws at that point, but I'm just saying.
This is the Ty France Memorial game.
Flexen is. I think Flexen is a lot better than people give him credit for, and the numbers like he's been very solid the last month and a half. And also, the Mariners are in a streak. I think it's like 20-plus games where their starters haven't given up 3 runs or more. So their just general pitching is just very well right now.
Yo, I don't know what the deal. I mean, Flexen was a monster last year, and it's almost like people forgot. That being said, I don't like the Mariners. So
also, if you take a look at Flexen, like he has a 2-8 record this year, but I mean it's not like in the losses or the no decisions he's pitching bad. I mean he took a loss against the Astros who only gave up 2 runs with a 55 game score. He took a loss against the Twins which gave up 2 runs with a 48 game score. He took a no decision with the Angels where he went 5 2/3 with 2 runs. He struck out 5. So it's not like he's pitching bad. It's just that he's not getting any run support, and now you're taking out Ty France. How do the Mariners score? Like, I get it.
Yeah, so I get it. You're saying a lot of his losses are not his fault. I follow you.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on to the moneymaker game. And let me tell you a thing or two about the Philadelphia Phillies. They may be flashing everything they have at you right now. They're like, they've prematurely ejaculated as a franchise and frankly as an entire city. It's time. The Fade Philly movement, I might start a hashtag Fade Philly. It starts right now. And when I tell you Aaron Nolan is due to just get fucking rocked, it's tonight. Like, he is due to get rocked. He's been good on the road, and he's been good. The Phillies have won 5 straight Aaron Nola starts. Like, there's no evidence to say Aaron Nola should pitch poorly tonight other than I'm telling you it's coming. This man, the Phillies lost 8 straight Aaron Nola starts, right? Then they won 5 straight. People forgot about those 8. You know who didn't forget about them? Me. And it's coming back. The Padres are going to get to Aaron Nola tonight, and you know who's due for a good start? Mackenzie Gore's having a great year other than 2 games in a row where, I mean, he couldn't get outs on the Rockies, which baffles me a little bit, to be honest, but he's due for a good start. He's back at home Friday night. A lot of people are going to be watching. It's the prime night for all these Philly fans to be watching and just get their hearts broken. Padres, money line, plus 110. Ride with me. Toast, go.
Okay, a couple things about this game you really got to pay attention to. Manny Machado, there are rumors that he could play tonight. Jake Cronenworth sat out last night. He should play tonight. This is a very big, got to see the lineup type of game. I'm with you on the Padres. I like the Padres, and I'd love to take him at plus money. I need at least Jake Cronenworth in the lineup. If Padres have Machado and Cronenworth out, I can't do it. But if at least Cronenworth in, who's been playing really well this last month, I'll go with the Padres. I even like Mackenzie Gore strikeout prop over. Let me make sure I pull it up right so I have the right number here. Mackenzie Gore. Where is it? Oh, 5.5 at plus 105. So again, it's the Phillies on the road. Again, is no, like Scott said, there's no really numbers to say that. I just think that it's about time that the Phillies lose. Obviously, they've lost 3 or 4, but I still think that they're being priced like they're on a winning streak. The Padres have been playing really good the last month, I guess. And if you take out, especially like Mackenzie Gore, like if you take out his games against Colorado, who just like the Pirates and the Dodgers, they just seem to have their number. Fantastic numbers all the way around. So again, it's the Padres at plus money for me, but I need Cronenworth in the lineup at least.
I'm with you. What about Public Pete?
Padres.
There you go.
Padres here. I'm all over the Padres. I'll tell you why. Well, Kyle covered it. Aaron Nola, so due for a bad game, it hurts my face. Mackenzie Gore, so due for a good game, it hurts my face. But let's just go ahead and look at this. Left-handed pitchers versus the Phillies. Of the last 9 left-handed pitchers to face the Phillies, 8 of them have allowed 2 runs or less And just personally, this Phillies team is not that good. I don't know who needs to hear it. I don't know if that dirtbag Sean Redden's in the live. He's not actually a dirtbag. He's a great guy. But the city of Philadelphia is such a trash hole, such a dirty place. They don't have showers there. There's no trash cans because the trash cans are the people. So I'm going to be riding with the Padres here. They've been hitting righties a lot better lately. And listen, I'll tell you what, man. If Jay Cronenworth plays in this game, he could be the play of the day.
I'll tell you what,
people in the chat saying the Padres are overrated. Yo, check the standings, bruh.
Aren't they in first place without their two best players?
Yes.
Okay. So clearly the Padres are going to beat the bum-ass garbage squad from Philadelphia. Next game coming. Oh, my God. Possibly the game of the season, Tigers at D-backs. So actually what I did, I guess I'll just start, and you guys can maybe tell me what you think of it. For the last two games, we got 2 games left, and I like the pretty heavy favorite in both of them. So I think the Diamondbacks money line and the Giants money line in a parlay at plus 138 is decent value. I really don't love either game. That's what I wrote down for these. We'll start with the Diamondbacks one. You can see if let us know if there's a bet you like in that, or if you like the parlay I said. Go ahead, Beaver, go first.
I mean, honestly, just knowing what I know about the Detroit Tigers, yes, the bats are starting to pick up lately. And as much as I hate them, I do respect that they're getting a little bit of a spark. But I can't look past how bad this team is on the road against right-handed pitching. They have been horrendous all year long. And while Mel Kelly isn't really the best pitcher, I think he's going to be able to shut down this lineup. Meanwhile, Ronny Garcia, he's a cute little pitcher. He seems like a nice guy. Seems like a guy I'd want to chief a J with. But at the same time, I just don't know if I could trust him. We're talking about Merrill Kelly at home. Last start against Minnesota, 7 innings pitched, 5 hits, 1 earned run, 0 walks. Looked absolutely dominant. He should have a ton of, what is that word called? Oh, yeah, confidence heading into this game. Diamondbacks country, let's ride.
Broncos country, let's ride.
Let's ride.
Okay, so Stephen Hairston likes D-backs first 5. He's a dude. I text him all the time. He's been following me since the beginning. He has some good bets, too. So he likes D-backs first 5. Toast, would you like to give us your thoughts on this barn burner of a game?
I lean Diamondbacks first 5, especially with Merrill Kelly at home. It's hard to back the Tigers here. It's never pass. I'm done losing money with the Tigers.
All right, yeah, I mean, there's no reason to go into detail about this game that's going to have about 181 viewers. So let's move on to the final game of the night. And the reason I want to start with the Prop Beaver is because I feel like this man, for those who don't know, AJ comes over my house to work Monday through Friday, and I swear it seems like every day he walks in the door like, let me tell you why we're betting the Reds today. Like I don't know, this guy has a thing for the Reds, but I swear he comes in, and usually I'm like droning him out because I haven't finished my Red Bull yet, but he comes in like, I got to play on the Reds you're going to love. So, am I right in saying you like the Reds?
No, you're wrong. You're wrong. Listen, if you know me, or if you follow Twitter, I bet on the Reds all the time. And quite frankly, the reason I'm only down like 3 units instead of like 15 units is the Cincinnati Reds. Me and the Cincinnati Reds, we have a blood oath. I bleed red. Simply put, I feel like I know this team very well. And this is not a spot I like for them at all. And I'll tell you why. Because they do not hit right-hand pitching well on the road at all. And I want not everybody to have short-sighted vision here. Yes, they were able to score some runs against the Dodgers, But as ballpark pal, my guy Toast put me onto, the wind was blowing out like it was anybody could have hit it. Donovan Solano, honestly, was this close to hitting like 3 home runs in that series. And Donovan Solano was just in AAA the other day. So I don't really know how good I feel about them against Alex Cobb. And while Alex Cobb is not the most impressive character on the street, I'll tell you that for sure. He actually does have really good numbers against Cincinnati. 243 OBP, 514 OPS against the current lineup. And I like the spot for them. The Giants are coming off such tough losses lately. It's brutal. So I don't really know exactly how to bet it. I still have to go ahead and think about that, considering how big the price tag is. But I might do a little Reds first 5 team total under. I'm gonna say it's set at 1.5.
Wow. I was not expecting that. I mean, I'm not saying I thought you were going to jump out and say bet the Reds, but I did not think you'd say a Reds team total under. That caught me off guard a little bit. Toast is, I mean, considering Prop Beaver just talked for 3 minutes and didn't even give us a bet, like a jamoke. Do you have a bet for us?
I really don't. I would like to bet. The only reason I say that is because both of these teams I have conflicting interests with. Graham Ashcraft is a guy that I think we can make some money on throughout the year, but he has not looked good his last 2 starts. And this is a spot for the Giants that I don't really like. With them being on a long road trip to the East Coast and playing in hot Atlanta yesterday, the heat index was like 100 degrees. And now they got to fly home without any rest and play this Reds team. Alex Cobb is a guy that's like one of my circle bet on pitchers. I understand that he's not a big name, but the Giants brought him over, and I've said this 1,000 times, so I apologize for repeating myself, but we have new guys. The Giants brought him over to replace Alfie. And he's been doing that. He hasn't had the numbers. He got hurt a little bit, so he had 2 starts against the Mets in Colorado where he didn't look good. He finally is back in the lineup. He just pitched 4 innings against the Pirates, so he should be back to his normal workload tonight. Probably not going to go more than 5 or 6 innings, but does have good numbers against Cincinnati in the past. I just don't love the spot for the Giants after playing in Atlanta and then having to fly home with no rest. But I can't get behind the Reds right now with the way that they've been playing. I will say they have scored a couple runs the last couple of nights, but it helps when you're in Cincinnati.
All right, you were dissing me for talking long and saying I have no bet. I think I found one here on FanDuel.
Hit us with
San Francisco Giants plus 1.5 parlayed with under 7.5. It's a line total parlay plus 120. I don't think there's going to be many runs scored. The Giants don't hit right-handed pitchers very well. As Toast was saying, they're coming off that road trip. The bats may come out a little flat. And I also think that Alex Cobb is going to have a good pitching game today. So I feel like that's actually pretty good value if you're getting a minus 200 or something favorite parlayed with an under 7.5, which I'm very confident it goes under 7.5.
Did you say Giants plus 1.5?
Yeah, plus 1.5.
I do like that, actually. I probably would tell you on that. In fact, I may ask you to text me that because I'm a little drunk and forgot. Okay, so
Beaver, why don't you send that to the group? That'd be great.
All right, I will.
I promise I only had 2 drinks, but I've had a really healthy week. I've been eating healthy, and the first time drinking since last weekend with healthy food in your stomach, it just hits you different. Like, woo! All right, so top 3 bets. Actually, I've extended. I promise you, I'll give you my top 3 bets. I've actually extended it to 4. Number 1, we're all in agreement. Dodgers money line is number 1. I don't know. I know Toast wants to lay the 1.5. Cool if you want to do that.
I am laying the 1.5.
Completely cool if you want to do that. I'm betting the money line. Maybe I'll bet the 1.5 too. Whatever. Next, I think I was on my own here. I really like the Orioles at plus 139. I think that's gorgeous. I love that. Now, 139 to have on your top bets is definitely a little risky, but I'm a risky guy. Taking Baltimore money line at plus 139 for my and these are in no particular, or actually Dodgers is probably number 1. But next, Padres money line number 3, and my last bet And this was added because as I was talking about it, I realized I liked it more. Pirates plus 1.5. I really, really like. And all the money on the other side. Plus, when we brought up that game, everybody was on the other side in the comments, which really jazzes me up. So Dodgers money line, Orioles money line, Padres money line, Pirates plus 1.5, and I have a parlay to give out as well. Where'd it go? Okay, here it is. Ready? Arizona money line, San Francisco money line, Angels money line, Orioles money line for plus 835. So that is the parlay I'll be playing. Those are my top bets. Is there any top bets you guys want to give out? I know that that's kind of my thing, and you guys are boring as hell. But if you'd like to add anything,
bro, I'll actually go to your crib and RKO you. It'll take a week because my car's fucked, but I will do it. I like the Dodgers a lot with that first 5 team total over 2.5. I got that at minus 105. I think that's a joke. I really think that's a joke. Ian Anderson is simply not that good. His arsenal does not line up with the Dodgers well at all either. As his top 3 pitches, and his only 3 pitches, the Dodgers are 3rd in OBA, 3rd in OBP, 3rd in slug, and I think they're 5th and 6th in WOBA and BABIP. So I think they should be able to rake him.
sounds good, and I agree with that one. Toast, do you have any top bets or anything?
White Sox first 5 minus 0.5. Jays first 5 minus 0.5. Astros first 5 money line. That's my top 3.
Okay. Say that one more time because I was typing.
Yeah, White Sox first 5 minus 0.5. Jays first 5 minus 0.5. Astros first 5 money line.
Toast, can you say that one more time? My mom was calling me.
Don't say it one more time. Don't listen to his ass. So that was fun. Every time we do a live, it goes great, and I'm always like, we're gonna do this more, and then we don't. But I really mean it this time. We're gonna do this more.
So I will say this. I'm going to try to go live with, maybe it's just me and Beaver or whatnot. You guys got to understand, Kyle does a lot of stuff behind the scenes. He kind of makes what I do look like I do nothing. So just know that Kyle does a lot of stuff behind the scenes. I'm going to try to do this on a daily basis, if not here on Spaces for sure. But you guys want me to do the matchups on Ballpark Cal for home run prop?
Say that one more time. Do you guys want me to do the matchups? And then it went blurry.
For home run props on Ballpark Pal?
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay. So the one that correlates with our favorite play is with the Dodgers money line. It's Cody Bellinger to go get a home run. He's got the 29 run creation, which is the highest on the board today. If you want to go safe, you could go Bellinger over 1.5 total bases. I don't know what that's coming back out at, but it looks really good. Besides that, there's nothing really crazy. They actually like the 3 of the Twins are in the line up there, and that's Trevor Story for Boston is up there. Shohei is up there against Flexing. So it'd probably be Bellinger and Shohei for me. As the top 2.
Sounds good.
And that's pretty much it.
All right, we've been on for an hour and 15 minutes, so let's close it up. Thanks for everyone for joining. I have 2 barbecues, Saturday and Sunday, so I have no plans tonight other than sitting on my couch, betting irresponsibly and watching baseball. So I'll be active on Twitter. I'll be the first one to tell Prop Beaver he's wrong on his bad picks. And hopefully you guys join in on the conversation. Thanks for watching, and we will talk to everyone soon.